I thought a lot about the legality when I was building Bitcoin. In the earliest days, especially pre-March 2013, which was the first Bitcoin Senate hearings, we didn't know if this was a violation of the Stamp Act, which was one of the early legal question marks that was eventually resolved in Bitcoin's favor, thankfully. But it was a question mark. We were creating money out of thin air. Happily, there was some precedent in the United States, specifically with private banks issuing their own private currency. And so unlike other nations, for example, China and Russia have a law that says that the only currency that may be used is the national currency, and that's enshrined in law. U.S. is different. It doesn't enshrine only the U.S. dollar may be used as payment. If you want, you can pay with bananas, you can pay with gold, whatever your vendor or the other side of the transaction will accept in the United States. It's U.S. dollars legal tender, but that doesn't exclude other private monies. So in the late 1800s, a lot of private banks would issue their own private money. And interestingly enough, just like ancient Rome, just like Zimbabwe, just like crypto tokens today, there was a lot of printing of money that wasn't necessarily backed by assets or capital or national security. And those currencies, some of them were community currencies, they worked well, and some of them were quickly debased. So that rich history of private money gave us some confidence to operate as software developers on Bitcoin, but it was far from clear whether software developers would be held liable for digital transactions that they were completely not a party of. And there's still, with today in year 2024, some court cases related to Tornado Cash that are trying to assign liability to software developers. So that issue is still alive today. But yes, absolutely, in the early days, it was a question mark of how legal is this? Am I legally spending something? Am I legally developing something? Am I going to be liable later on for some bad actor using it that I don't even know? I had no control over him, but he still used Bitcoin. Is that going to come back to node operators? Is that going to come back to Bitcoin miners? Is that going to come back to software developers? We didn't know any of that, and we just kind of charged for it anyway as crypto libertarians. There's more regulatory clarity today versus 2010. There's not a lot of regulatory clarity. Today, as we record this, the SEC is still tussling with crypto companies over whether a token is a security or not. Back in 2010, we didn't know if Bitcoin was a security or not, or was it a commodity, or was it a currency? Different countries at the time were regulating it in different ways. Japan was an early leader in regulating Bitcoin strictly as a currency. And that we felt was a very good positive precedent, establishing that Bitcoin was some sort of money. But other countries either outright banned it. I think China's banned Bitcoin 2 or 3 times now. And Russia similarly reiterated that there is no currency but the ruble inside of Russia. But that hasn't stopped, obviously, underground use of Bitcoin.